All right, it says just down this path is the shady swept sand yard where the 39th President of the United States played as a boy during the years of the Great Depression. This Plains white farmhouse, these tangled woods and these broad fields were home to Jimmy Carter till he left for college. Surrounded by a close family here, young Carter developed the character and values that would carry him to success as a naval officer, engineer, farmer, businessman, lawmaker, author, governor, president, and world statesman. He said, "We always had enough to eat, but we had no money to waste. We felt close to nature, close to the members of our family, and close to God." They actually have a picture of him playing right out front. And I remember seeing an interview where he said that all the people that worked for his father were black, so the only kids that he played with were black when he was young. Here we go. Looks like it's free. I haven't seen anybody to pay or anything. It's kind of crazy to think of. He said that their routine was that you woke up, if you were a man, you were paid $1 a day, a woman 75 cents a day, a teenager 50 cents, and anything younger was 25 cents. He said you would wake up, put your mule to your plow, get it outside, and when the sun came up, you would plow from the time the sun came up till the time the sun went down. That was a normal work day. And his father would always say, everything on the land has to earn its keep. It says Jimmy Carter slept here. This is the home place. Hot summer Georgia. He would run around playing with the dogs and pick cotton. This is crazy to see. I think that he grew up here, playing right here. In fact, that photo we saw was right over here. And over here we have a barn. They still have chickens. Then a well, but it says the water's not fit for consumption. The chicken coop. Hello. We've got a scarecrow out there. I'm gonna hope that it's just self-guided and that we can walk in and read everything and do it that way. Yep. Looks like that's how they do it. Said that he didn't have running water or electricity here till he was 14. Earl and Lillian Carter home. Says James Earl Carter Sr. and his family moved to this middle-class rural dwelling. The second owners in 1928, 6 years after the home had been built. Heating was accomplished by fireplaces and wood stoves. Initially, there was no running water or electricity until 1938. So it looks like the Downer family bought it after. Oh, well, maybe we can't go in. Ironing board. No, I was wrong, you can. Just not that front door. You have to go in this door. Pretty big place. Eventually had a phone. Here's the kitchen area. And this is directly across from Jimmy's bedroom. Right here. Like most boys, Jimmy enjoyed spending his time outdoors. His bedroom, however, was the place where he kept many of his collected treasures. Postcards, letters, Souvenirs sent to him by his uncle Tom Gordy, who was in the Navy, sparked dreams of faraway places, the ocean, and a future naval career. Lillian Carter instilled a love of reading in Jimmy. This is evident by the books in her son's room and throughout the house. And the fact that he's written so many, I would say. Dirty pair of jeans, his baseball bat. He was one of 4 children. His sister was an evangelist, famous evangelist, and of course his brother. Here's the bathroom. Would have been cold showers, it said, with water coming directly from the tank on the windmill. Even greater blessing was not having to walk outside and across the yard to go to the outhouse anymore. It says, notice the unique shower head, a bucket with holes in it. That is exactly what that is. Fill up the bucket from the faucet up there and then it would trickle down on you. And then that's going into a bedroom. That's his parents' bedroom. Earl and Lillian's bedroom. Lillian was a nurse who used to take care of pretty much everyone for the area. They said she was basically like a doctor and would take care of all the African Americans that were ill also. So she was the driving force in him seeing equality. And then in here, it's our dining room. Didn't have money, but they had plenty of food, he said, so. You can tell by looking at that beautiful, those deviled eggs, the fried chicken, all that stuff. Here's a sewing machine. And then a look into the breakfast room that we couldn't see. That's the front door right there. And in Jimmy's bedroom, he had the window that looked right out the front. So in here, it's a desk. This is coming in the living room from school each day. The children first stopped by the black desk, which was nicknamed Mother. Their mother's nursing career kept her frequently away from home. She would write down chores for the children and leave their to-do list on this desk. There you can see a to-do list. Family gathered in this room following the evening meal. Earl would prepare his Sunday school lessons and read the newspaper by oil lamp. When he got out of his favorite chair, the children were quick to check his chair for change that might have slipped out of his pockets. So I assume that's his chair over there with the popcorn. And that's the back of the house, which basically had a really nice breezeway all the way through it. This was the room of the girls. Gloria and Ruth shared this bedroom. For birthdays and other special occasions, they had sleepover company. After falling asleep, guests would awaken sometimes and go into hysterics when the train came by the front of the home at about 2 o'clock every morning. The Carters were accustomed to the train and usually slept right through the noise. Pretty nice room. And here's the back porch. And the train tracks are right there, so. Nice deck. So here's the other side of the house. This is the side that we just walked out of. The side closest to the train tracks. There's their old mailbox. My pal Scott Michaels always loves to see famous people's mailboxes for some reason. Yes, believe it or not, they did have a tennis court. Jimmy was a lifelong fan of tennis because of this clay court right here. Said he and his dad used to come out here and have fierce matches. His dad was an avid tennis player and they would play all the time. Very competitive. Wow, that's cool to be walking out here on his tennis court. And that's the home we were just in. That was their home. But this is also on the property with a gas pump, so let's see what this is. Maybe their livestock barn. Whoa. It's a whole general store. Wow. This was their store. This is where they sold their stuff. I guess that makes sense. You're a farmer, you gotta have somewhere to sell it. Wow, that is pretty freaking cool to see. They have an information button here.
It was quite common in rural communities because they provided the basic necessities that had to be bought by the workers and by our family as well. What happened usually was that the purchases were on credit and payments for the different items were made on payday or sometimes even at the end of the season when the crops were harvested. The stores were convenient for three reasons. One, they were close by and most of the transportation was on foot. Secondly, the landowner, the larger ones, owned the store and wanted to make a profit on items sold. And third, the people who lived on the farm or nearby quite often had no credit rating in town, whereas the landowner that owned the store would know them, and if they wanted to buy a pair of shoes or a shirt or some tobacco, they didn't have to worry about credit because they had ready credit. Since the landowner knew them well, and since the landowner knew that when he paid them for their work, he could collect the bill. This store was not kept open all the time, but it was open all day Saturday because that was the day for major purchases. That was the day when the workers were paid and when they paid off what they owed. The rest of the week, the store was closed except when somebody wanted to make any kind of purchase. Both we and they were out of the fields during meal times. So almost every time I ever sat down at a meal, someone knocked on the back door and wanted to make a purchase from the store. My daddy would throw the keys across the table to me. I would get up and miss part of the meal, walk out to the store, unlock it, sell 5 cents worth of chewing tobacco or a bottle of castor oil or 2 pounds of sugar, make a ticket, show that the person bought something on credit, lock the store back up, and go back to our meal. I hardly ever remember going to an entire meal without having to be interrupted to go to the store and open it to make a sale.
You have kind of a path out here going around the farm, so I'm just going to take a look. You can see water coming out of there. And this was the family garden, it says. They would grow all the stuff they were gonna eat. This first batch right here was watermelon. That would have been peanuts. See, several things are still growing out here, obviously. Blacksmith shop. Barn. This was the milking barn for milking the cows. says between 8 and 12 cows were milked each day. This was Jack Clark's job, Rachel's husband. Rachel Clark's the one I told you that Jimmy kind of considered almost like a third parent. She took him fishing and taught him to love the land and respect the environment. Ooh, the harness shed. Wow. There's Jimmy out here on the farm. They're talking about how first thing you'd have to do is start the day by catching the mules. 4 a.m. He said the entire family was always in bed by 8 because they're early work days. And that thing that he's sitting on is still here. It's actually right there. So that's where that photo obviously would have been taken. The tractor would have been like right over here, and he would have been sitting there with that. You can see this barn in the background of that photo because you can see that window up there, or for the hay bales. Corn grinder for feeding the animals, probably. Corn sheller. Here's the dinner bell they would ring. So a little further down the property is this house, and that was the house that they gave to John and Rachel Clark. Probably the two most important employees they had. Hello. Hello. So here is their house. If you look way down, you can see the Carter's house. And they did leave this one open so we can go inside. With a, oh yeah, I forgot. Newspaper lining the walls. Clapboard siding. Here's their dinner table. There's a photo of them. So, this would have been the bedroom. And you can see her clothes hanging up here. And then kitchen. Not bad, all things considered. Well, my friends, I hope you enjoyed exploring Plains, Georgia with me today. I had a blast. This town has so much Jimmy history. I definitely will need to come back because there's a whole other museum and some other stuff to check out that I just thought would be too much today. So we will do that another time. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great night and goodbye.